Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Sondik and Mengel, where we're recapping the controversy of the dunk contest, those cheaters in Houston, and some under-the-radar powerhouse in college basketball. But before anything, we got to talk about the end of the All-Star Saturday night, with Derrick Jones defeating who many think should have more than one title to his name, in Eric Gordon. Aaron Gordon jumped over Taco Fall, all 7 foot 5 inches, got a 47, which put him 1 point behind Jones, denying him of another dunk contest crown. Grant, did Aaron Gordon get robbed?
Absolutely. Aaron Gordon was absolutely robbed. First round, you go out and you put up 2 50s. It's a great start. You put up 2 more 50s in the finals, and you go to a dunk-off. Let's throw another 50 on top of that, and then jump over Taco Fall, and now that's a 47? That's 5 50s in a row, and then a 47, very controversial 47. Very well should have been 6 50s. And I mean, yeah, Derrick Jones had a great performance. I mean,
He had the dunk of the night.
He had the dunk of the night, but
You're wrong.
all that man did was put it through his legs about 4 different times. Like, if you're going to go out there and claim that you're the best dunker in the whole league, you got to show some versatility. You can't just keep putting it through your legs. Like, cool, I've seen you do that 3 other times now. What's different? Like, Aaron Gordon, excuse me. Aaron Gordon's a shooter. Aaron Gordon, he went out there, jumps over Chance the Rapper, 180, throws it down. Off the side of the backboard, catches it one hand, cups it 360, throws it down.
Quite ridiculous.
I mean, he just put on a more well-rounded performance, and I think he absolutely deserves to win.
Yeah, I mean, and Aaron Gordon mentioned he won't do it again, and that's what stinks because he's one of the best dunkers in the league, and now the competition for next year is already, we'll talk about year-to-year dunk contest, but it already is diminished, and Derrick Jones had a great performance, don't get me wrong, but I think Aaron Gordon went through enough. And you shouldn't use past, but the guy he came out firing. And first try dunks too, like guys that fail in their first couple tries, it's a little less impressive. First try throwing those things down. So
yeah, I was really disappointed by the judges and what they came up with. So how can we fix the contest format?
All right, I love Dwayne Wade so much. The guy retired, and coincidentally, Derrick Jones plays for Miami Heat, and Dwayne Wade and him were teammates last year.
A little conflict of interest.
I don't love that. I mean, 2 guys like Jones and Gordon also, if they're stuck at 50s, they should do it like horse and have one guy do a dunk, and you got to match it. And if you don't match it as well, or you don't match it at all, you lose. And I think the judges just didn't know when to cut it off. The announcers were saying just a tie, but they weren't going to give it to 2 guys because there's 4 guys in the whole competition, so that kind of ruins it. I think the standard for a 50 also needs to be more defined, because in the first round, I love Aaron Gordon getting the 50s, and he deserved all of them, but you can't build up as the dunk contest goes on. So I feel like establishing what a 50 actually is crucial. I mean, they gave Dwight Howard the 49, but like they was throwing it back, and Dwight Howard was there to have fun. So where do you think this dunk contest in 2020 ranks in recent memory compared to the other ones we've seen?
I thought it was a great one, but we have to kind of ask the question, is this just a product of the moment? Is this some recency bias? Because the last few years, the dunk contest hasn't been great.
Yeah, it's been...
I mean, it ebbs and flows, as always. After a bad one, a good one looks even better. But this one is right up there with 2016 and 1988. I mean, those 2 are arguably the other 2 best dunk contests of all time, and you could throw this one in there with it. Mm-hmm. Personally, I put it behind 16 because Aaron Gordon was in both of them, and I think that his performance was similar in both of them, but Levine outperformed Derrick Jones Jr. by a mile, I think. I just think Levine's a better dunker than him, and that he's the best dunker in the league. Don't get me wrong right there.
Yeah, I wish we saw him. The 3-point contest, but I think the field, I don't know. I think the 3-point contest, it was so competitive. I think Levine would have had a great shot this year. I mean, beating out Jones would have been tough, but would have been interesting to see. I know he struggles with injuries, so yeah.
I definitely agree. But speaking of titles being robbed, let's talk about those cheaters in Houston as they continue to dominate the headlines in the most negative of ways. As owners and players try and save their reputations, and their stories are conflicting a little bit. We're hearing a lot of different things. So, what do you make of all this? Should the punishment have been harsher?
Absolutely. We've seen it throughout sports. I don't get why yanking a title is all of a sudden out of line. I mean, Reggie Bush, the wins got vacated at USC because he was ineligible. I know this is different, so I'm drawing crazy comparisons, but bear with me. Louisville in 2013, and because of a strike, there was no World Series winner in 1994, and people still wake up every day, and the sun still rises. So I don't get why vacating the title, that would be the perfect punishment. It's just not on the record, and kids that weren't alive during this just don't know about that team. That's perfect, wiping it from the memory. I mean, it went 7 games. Like, they played one of the most back and forth games ever in Game 5, and coincidentally it was in Houston, and that kind of ruins that game for me a little bit because it was so back and forth, and like, imagine if they didn't know the pitches. Do the Dodgers win that game? Do the Dodgers win the series? A lot of what ifs. So, I don't know. What do you think this means for those boys in Houston this season?
I just think this puts a massive target on their back and cloud over their head. I mean, you look at some stats out there, the over-under for getting hit by pitches for Houston is 83.5. That's
You might want to take the over.
You might want to take the over.
Life's too short to bet the under, especially here.
Rob Manfred is talking with the managers and telling them that he will not accept retaliation, but a lot of pitchers are going to think it's worth it to hit those guys.
Absolutely.
I mean, some of their careers could have been ruined or scarred because of what the Astros did in the last few years. I mean, I don't think they can throw every single pitcher out of a game, so I'm going to think they're going to throw at them. And no teams have backed them up, really. I mean, maybe the Red Sox a little bit, but
cheaters kind of just, they stick together a little bit. They're tight, you know? So.
But besides that, you've heard Bellinger, Chris Bryant, Nick Markakis, even the
LeBron!
King, LeBron James, spoke out against what
with a long hashtag, as he always does. You know?
What a travesty this is. I mean, even the Astros fans are kind of turning against them as they're suing. Their fans who are season ticket holders are suing the Astros for misleading them in ticket prices because of those wins.
Wow, that's quite remarkable.
It's just not a great look in Houston right now. And this is also crazy because this is still a terrific baseball team who's probably going to win the West and have a very real chance to go to the World Series again. But even if they get there and prove people wrong,
People will just be even more furious.
People
like,
will still
the
bring
Astros
this
won it
up.
this year. Exactly. This isn't going to die, and it shouldn't. We still talk about the 1919 Black Sox. I wasn't alive for that. You weren't alive for that.
Yeah.
Like, it shouldn't just disappear off the record because they wanted to. Like, it happened months ago. We're going to keep talking about it.
It's going to be talked about.
And they're cheaters. That team is just tarnished forever. So.
Yep, exactly. So how does this affect the legacy of the commissioner?
Well, Manfred's already under fire for the various rules he's trying to implement with the 3-batter rule and the expanded postseason. And it's crazy that he's going to punish the guys that cheated less than the guys that try to like throw at the guys that cheated. I mean, we saw it in 2016 it was with Noah Syndergaard throwing at Chase Utley, and that's a little different, and he still got tossed. And I don't like the Houston, like the Astros, their apologies are terrible. Like, they don't line up.
Yeah.
I mean, whether Jose Altuve's a shot to take his shirt off, which is not true, or whether he has a tattoo, I don't care. It all sounds like bogus. And saying Tony Kemp didn't like cheat. Yeah, Tony Kemp, we know you didn't cheat. You batted .210. So I don't know. It's not a good look for Manfred, and already he has a murky year, and I don't get what he's trying to do, trying to take their side. I think if he stood against them, it'd make his legacy it would improve his legacy by a lot.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. And I mean, it's going to be a very interesting baseball season, to say the least. But as we're getting closer to baseball season, that means the greatest spectacle in sports is among us. The big dance, March Madness, coming up in a month here. And you got your typical blue bloods at the top. You got your Kansas, your Kentucky, your Duke. But there's a few non-Power 5 teams that are taking it to the rest of the nation this year in San Diego State and Dayton, who are combined 50-2. That's absurd.
Yeah.
But this weekend, big matchup, Kansas and Baylor, number 1 versus number 3. There's going to be some implications on the 1 seed line, and both these teams in Dayton and San Diego State are looking to slip in and steal a 1 seed. So, which of these teams has a better shot to earn a 1 seed?
I gotta roll with the Aztecs, San Diego State. So, yeah, if your team has had a losing skid this college basketball season, San Diego State has it. They're undefeated still. And the Mountain West is kind of weak. I mean, there's a couple decent teams, but there's a couple wins like early in the middle of the season that jump out to me. BYU, number 23 in the nation, a tournament team, beat Creighton, who is a Big East powerhouse, by 30, beat Iowa and Luka Garza and held them to 9 points. He's 4th in the nation in scoring. And they beat Utah State twice. And the Aggies, if you haven't heard of them, you should wake up. They're 1 of 8 of 9, and they're a bubble team, and I think with a good performance in the Mountain West Conference tournament, they can make the tournament as well. So what do you think?
Yeah, I want to say Dayton, but San Diego State has the better shot here at the 1 seed. They're ahead of Dayton right now in the rankings, and Joe Lunardi already has them slotted in as a 1 seed. I don't really see them losing too much down the stretch here at all, and Dayton's probably going to end up earning a 2 seed, so I give that to San Diego State. They're more likely.
Yeah. So, what team do you think makes a deeper run in the NCAA tournament?
In the tournament, give me Dayton, the Flyers, baby. They have the best player possibly in the nation, who's also the most versatile player in the nation, and Obi Toppin, averaging 19 points and 8 boards a game. The 1-2 punch of him and Jalen Crutcher, who is playing at an elite level at the guard position, averaging over 15 and 5 assists a game. They also, just in general, have 4 guys averaging double figures who all shoot the 3 ball extremely well, over 36%. And I mean, getting into the tournament, big-time players get you deep. I mean, we've seen that here in stores a few times, I think. With Kemba Walker, Shabazz Napier just elevating their team down the stretch in big games. And they've been playing a lot of close games recently, which benefits them more in March, while San Diego State's kind of been coasting along, beating teams by 20, 30. Yeah. And I think if San Diego State goes into the tournament unbeaten, that's a lot of pressure. No one's ever really... I mean, we saw Kentucky get to 38-0 a few years ago.
Had a guy
lost
named
to
Anthony
Wisconsin. I mean,
on a different team.
Yeah, they had a Big Cat that year.
Yeah.
But I mean, you get to that pressure of being undefeated. That eats you up when you're in the tournament, man. I think that's why I got Dayton with the better chance of going deep. I see San Diego State losing in the second round. I'm calling my shot right there.
That's bold. I'm gonna make the case for the Aztecs here. I mean, like your boys from Dayton, they got 4 guys averaging double figures, and Malachi Flynn is 7. He's averaging 17 a game, and he's not Obi Toppin, but no one is. They have the 5th best defense in the whole country. Teams put up 58.2 points a game against them. That's pretty locked down. 9th in the nation in 3-pointers. And their coach, Brian Dutcher, was there for the Fab Five, don't forget, and was part of the reason why Kawhi came to San Diego State in the first place. And that guy ended up turning out pretty good. I think San Diego State, they've dominated all year, and you're absolutely right, there's a ton of pressure in the tournament. But it's just as much pressure as they had one loss, and Baylor and Kansas will be under the same pressure. And I don't know if San Diego State could garner that number 1 overall seed. We'll have to see how it plays out in the Big 12. But I got San Diego State, man. I don't know. They're still under the radar for me. I want more people to talk about them. I know they play in the Mountain West, but I don't know.
We've just seen these mid-majors like Wichita State grab a 1 seed before and lose to Kentucky in the second round. I mean, the talent level's the gap's a little different. I mean, I just think the big boys can take it to them, and that starts in the second round. I mean, Cupcake 16 seed.
Yeah, usually.
They're no Virginia.
Usually.
Okay. I mean, they're making an early exit. I'm pretty confident in that.
This is the thing, and the only reason why I'm disagreeing with you is, and I love Obi Toppin's awesome, and having one play in the tournament is either boom or bust. Because if a team was to crowd him and shut him down, Crutcher would have to step up, and if not, San Diego State's I think a little more balanced, and I don't know.
Like I said, Dayton's got 4 guys in double
That's
figures.
also true, and that's why this is why we're asking the question, and it will be very interesting. Both teams are going to get a high seed regardless. I love that there's teams in different conferences. I mean, Duke's good every year. Kansas, Baylor's a little surprising this year, but seeing teams in mid-major conferences, I love seeing.
Yeah, there's some good parity. But do you realistically see either of these teams losing before the tournament?
Absolutely not. I think San Diego State, they got UNLV, Colorado State at home, and then at Nevada to end it is not a walk in the park. I still think they win it, and I think the conference tournament, I think they're going to be the hands-down favorite to win it. I think Dayton has a shot to lose to Rhode Island. They're in Rhode Island in a couple weeks. I think that's potential to lose, especially because Rhode Island's been under the radar awesome this year.
Yeah.
But I still think Dayton wins that game. I think they don't lose a game the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, college basketball's been crazy this year, but I don't see them losing.
They both had a stranglehold on their respective leagues, and I think it'd be quite remarkable to see that.
Yep.
So, with all that being said, it is time to celebrate our favorite athletes' birthdays, anniversaries, and find out what to watch for this upcoming weekend.
We're going to start off with birthdays. Happy birthday to Rajon Rondo, who's turning 34 on February 22nd. He's most known for his work in Bean Time with the Celtics when he was on the championship team with the Big Three. He's undoubtedly one of the best passers and toughest dudes in the league. I remember him dislocating his elbow, going back into a playoff game, and helping them win that game against LeBron and the Heat.
Rondo was a dog.
Yeah, Rondo was a dog. Happy birthday to him. We also wish Andrew Wiggins, the former Jayhawk, who was the number 1 pick in 2014, a happy birthday, who turns 25 on February 23rd. Yeah, he's only 25. I mean, hopefully this fresh start in Golden State will be good for him. He's averaging 20 points a game over his career. I'm just really excited to see if he can elevate to the next level because the talent is definitely there.
100%. Before we get to anniversaries, I want to have a quick shout out. Another happy birthday to my lovely co-host, Grant Mengel. Turns the ripe age of 20 on Sunday. We love you, Granty. Happy anniversary to the U.S. men's hockey team. On this date in 1990, the Miracle on Ice was achieved as the Americans took down the Soviet Union in Lake Placid, winning 4-3. one of the biggest upsets in Olympic history. Movie, amazing. Story, amazing. And happy anniversary to Alabama and Auburn on this date in 1893, a long time ago. The first Iron Bowl was played, and the Tigers took down the Tide 32-22 in Birmingham.
War Eagle. So, there's a lot of things going on this weekend. Give me what to watch for.
Saturday, noon, number 1 Baylor, number 3 Kansas, will be a bloodbath. Baylor hasn't lost since they played Washington Anchorage in November, and Kansas hasn't lost since they played Baylor. Kansas was blowing teams out, blew out Ohio State, took control over Oklahoma, got by West Virginia. It's going to be star-studded across the board.
Yeah, and for me, spring training games are here. The grass is cut. The hot dogs are getting cooked. It's time. We got Rangers and Royals kicking it off Friday afternoon, and then a full slate of games on Saturday. Can't wait. Baseball season's here. I'm so excited.
It's coming. Let's go.
But unfortunately, we're out of time for today. We'll see you back here, same time, same place.
And as always, folks, let's ride.